Hey guys, I am back. I'm very sorry I'm having a lot of technical difficulties today. Internet, of course, went out again, but let me go ahead and share the screen. Okay. All right. Okay, so I think I was talking about before we got off. I'm going to try to keep this second part no more than 15 minutes, but hopefully I don't get kicked off again. But what our structure is in the push group. And week one is improving ourselves. And so basically it all starts with ourselves. Okay. So what I do is I monitor being a product of the product with your logging. And those of you that have coaches in the group, you'll want to be doing these things as well, because you're a coach administrator in the group. We set a realistic, and notice I said realistic, so physical and financial goals for the next 90 days. So for the next 90 days, if you're an active coach right now and you're hoping to get to Emerald, it's probably not realistic to say, I want to hit Diamond in the next 90 days. I mean, maybe if you have a lot of time available, maybe. Okay. But we set a realistic goal. Okay. Maybe you want to hit Emerald in the next 90 days. Maybe you want to, hit Success Club 5 or whatever. We set a physical goal. I need to find out what your physical and financial goals are, because the way we attract people in this business is both physically and financially. So I need to know what both of those are for the next 90 days. We're going to make a plan to reach those goals, and we're going to discuss personal development choices to overcome obstacles to reach those goals, because we're going to have obstacles, okay? And we're going to decide on which fitness program or nutrition program is going to help us reach those goals. So basically our first week, if you've ever done Shailene Johnson's 30-day push, we're going to be doing that reverse engineering, finding out what our goals are, what we're going to do to reach those goals, what personal development is going to get us through, and what programs we can do to reach those. Okay. So that's what we're going to be doing the first week, is working on ourselves. Week two, we're going to be working on inviting and helping others. Okay. So now we've worked on ourselves. So this week, we're going to kind of learn our story. Each of us has a story in this business, and each one is unique. Okay. And it's what makes it our story. Some of us it's physical. We've had a physical transformation. Some of us it's emotional, and some of us it's financial. We need to find out what that is so we can attract people like us to our business. Okay. I think I'd said on the last call that I'm going to ask Melissa Gallant if she can't speak on our push group call, or one of them, because she is extremely good about posting really good content. And I want her to actually do just a group call probably, but in just over this topic, because I think sometimes we get so overwhelmed by how many social media platforms are out there, with Facebook and Snapchat and Instagram and all this other kind of stuff, that we get very all over the place and, frustrated, and then we kind of quit doing it. So she's very good at this, but I want us to learn how to create good content using our story and our daily struggles. A lot of you know that I'm going gluten-free and doing automated paleo. I've attracted some really good, people that I never would have met, if I had not done this. So, learning what works for us and our interest, and using that by creating our story and creating good content. So that's what we're going to focus on in week two. Holding our business accountable by using a tracking system. Okay. That is a requirement, and I'm going to make sure you're using one. Okay. Because if you're not using one, you're not keeping up with people that you talk to. And what you're doing in this business all the time is you're dropping breadcrumbs. Okay. I can tell you that because I recreated my whole tracking system from just one master list to January, February. I mean, I could just see things growing from January to February, from December. I mean, all these conversations just starting from what ice cream I ate to going into them trying to figure out meal plan and all those things. So, and being possible 21-day fix candidates. So there's just little breadcrumbs that you're dropping along the way that start as small conversations that you have to be tracking. So we're going to talk about how to have an effective tracking system. We're going to talk about how to establish power work hours, flexible ones, because, sometimes they change. I'm desperately trying to get this power hour done right now, but, sometimes they take a little bit longer. But, setting down exact times, whether that's your TV time that you're normally having, or it's just some hour of the day that you're able to sit at the computer and check your emails and add 2 to 3 new people, reach out to others with messaging blitzes or check into groups, and you don't have to do all those things every single day. A lot of people get overwhelmed that they think they have to check into groups. They have to add 2 to 3 new people. They have to message everybody all the day. They have to send this invite out. They have to do this. You don't have to do that, but you have to have an hour that you're working on your business every day that's flexible. Okay. And there are sometimes I even work on the weekend. I try to keep it to 1 hour, but I can find a time to work an hour on a Saturday. All right. So just establishing those work hours and keeping it to 1 hour to where it's a productive hour. All right. Learning to do a messaging blitz at least once a week. And there are different parts of this. And sometimes I don't hit this all in 1 week. All right. But basically, when you're doing a messaging blitz, you're doing one of 3 things. You're reconnecting with someone, just visiting with them. You're inviting them to a challenge group or coaching, or you're following up with them. They've either, been in your challenge group or want to be in your challenge group, and you're kind of checking in with them. And a lot of times we think our power hour, we have to do all those things. You don't. It's solely dependent on your goal for the week. Let's say you have a challenge group that you're inviting to this week. Well, probably most of your power hour is going to be inviting to that challenge group. Or maybe you're in a group and, you've just started a group. You don't really have a group to invite them to until next week. Then you're probably going to have mostly reconnects, or you have a group that's just starting next week. You're going to have mostly follow-ups, So it just depends on what your goals are for the week. And we're going to learn how to do that. Okay. And we're also going to learn how to do a business activity tracker, which is another thing that you should be using. Okay. I think it's really a vital thing that you should be using in your business. And I don't know if a lot of people are using it. So I want to teach you how to do it. And I want to get in front of it and see it. All right. And that's what we'll learn on week 2. Another thing is week 3, which is recruiting and mentoring. All right. And basically it's learning to work with other people. Okay. Learning how to find their goals and their struggles and interests, getting a better understanding of which products would best benefit them. Okay. And which products best benefit you, knowing your products, putting the process of running monthly challenge groups in place to set customers up for success. This is a big one right here. We're going to make a calendar for the next 90 days of what your challenge groups are, okay? Because this tool, challenge groups, all right, is what is going to get people to, I don't want to say buy from you, but you know what I mean. It's going to help you reach your goals, your financial goals of hitting Success Club, rank advancement, and as many paid or free groups that you can do. It's going to open those people up to the community, and it's going to get them on product. And now with Beachbody On Demand, we have a great tool to get them started on that, okay, for not very much money. So, we need to be running monthly accountability groups, and you need to look at, your calendar for the next 90 days and set that up, all right? And we're also going to set a goal for what kind of people you want to attract to your business. Okay. We all, like I said at the beginning, we all have a different story, and we all relate to different kinds of people. If you are attracted to someone very fit, you probably want people that are very fit. Okay. Because you'll like the same kind of workouts they do. If you're a mom, or if you're a businesswoman, or if you want people that are like you. okay? And because you will best help them, okay? So learning kind of about yourself and what kind of people you want to attract to this business and what really is going to be a platform for your team. You know, honestly, we attract people like us. So if you travel a lot, you know, you might have a gypsy team. Or if if you're a 9-to-5er, you might have a 9-to-5er team. So just attracting people like you. So basically, week 1, we go through the vital process. Week 1, we focus on ourselves. Week 2, we help others. And week 3, we recruit and mentor them. Okay. So that's basically an outline of a group. Now, if you have a coach in this group, and right now I think I only have one. I haven't looked at who's applied today. But please select those you feel are worthy of your mentorship. Okay. And what I mean by that is there are some coaches, and, you know, like I said at the beginning of this call in the first part, we all have different goals in this business. Okay. We all run our own race, and that's perfectly fine. Okay. But the thing is that you want someone who is ready, okay, who wants or needs to make some income from this business, who is ready to go to work, okay? And that's not everybody, all right? And, you know, when we're going out there and looking for people, and sometimes we have such high hopes for someone, and, you know, but really it's not about our goals or our hopes. You know, it's about their goals and what they can handle, and, you know, and what they see. Okay. And so, you know, make sure that you've kind of met with them and discussed those goals, and make sure that they're kind of, you know, you have a good feeling that they're going to be all in. Okay. They're going to do the work. They're going to show up every day, and they're going to just be a rock star person, you know, that responds every day at 6 a.m., honestly, and logs every day. Okay. And they're worth your mentorship. Don't be afraid to follow up with them weekly, and expect some hesitation and sense of overload. Okay. All coaches are overwhelmed. I know I was overwhelmed when I started, and it's a lot, you know, and it takes time to really build momentum and, you know, understand every aspect of this business. It just does. Okay. So make sure that you're following up with them. I would say at least once a week, making sure everything's okay. You know, if they need help with anything, and, you know, have them kind of say, you know, don't be afraid to ask me for any questions or private message me, and expect that they might feel a sense of overload, or that it's not going to all digest in one training, because sometimes it takes a couple of others. So, you know, that's normal, and kind of expect it. All right. Encourage them to participate in the group and get on calls. Okay. That just goes back. And really, guys, I encourage you, if you haven't already done this, to have a call with them. If you haven't already done it, try to have it tomorrow night. Okay. Or if tomorrow night's not possible, Monday, you know, you can just do it on private messenger or whatever, you know, or Zoom if you do Zoom, and kind of let them know the expectations of this group, what it's going to be about, you know, and go over with them some of their goals, so that, you know, when you're tracking them, that you can help them in the best way possible. Okay. And those that have not applied, there are limited spots available. They're filling up quickly. So please apply by tomorrow night. Feel free to private message me with any question. Ugh, hate it when I get tongue tied. Anyway, feel free to private message me with any questions, but you must apply, guys. Okay. I've got to know your goals. And, you know, if I don't hear from you, I can't help you. Okay. So make sure you apply. All right. And I'll put the link above to apply for the group. And final test, if a push group is right for you, I want you to ask yourself, is this my passion? Is this what I get up to do? Okay. Because if it's not, you know, if you hate this business and you hate doing it, then my question to you is, why are you doing it? Okay. You have to have a passion for this. You have to love health and fitness. You have to love helping people, and really just love everything about it. Or, I mean, not love everything about it, but really just have that fire inside of you that you're going to get up and keep going even when it gets hard. Okay. Know that in order to reach your goals, you need accountability. Okay. So, you know, in this group, we are accountable. Okay. You'll even hear me say some stuff because I'm accountable too. You know, I always tell my challenge groups, I need y'all as much as you need me. Okay. Because I I need accountability. Okay. We can't do it on our own. Ask yourself if it's fun. Is it rewarding? Okay. And what is your belief in the business? Are you feeling very negative about it? Because your mindset has to shift. It's all mindset, guys. If you want success, you're going to have the mindset to have success. Okay. So really do a gut check and check your belief in the business and think about what's been holding you back. Which critical core activities have you not been doing, over the last 90 days? Whether it's challenge groups, whether it's inviting, maybe it's just even being a product of the products or doing personal development, whatever it is. I want you to think about what's been holding you back, who you've been surrounding yourself with. Okay. Are they those disgruntled coaches? Or are they those coaches that lift you up? Okay. Or are they competitive? Who you've been surrounding yourself with? Okay. Are you willing to be consistent with just 2 hours of your day, 1 to 2 hours? Okay, every day of doing a power hour, of at least checking into this group. I'm hoping doing your business activities as well, and working out. Okay, so are you willing to be consistent with 1 to 2 hours to give into this business every day? And have you done the critical core activities consistently for the past 90 days? How have you been treating your business? Have you been treating it like, almost like your part-time job, or have you been treating it like a hobby, or really just not at all? Okay. What is your mindset for this business? Okay. And really do this gut check and ask these things for yourself to determine if a push group is right for you. I can promise you that the rewards are great. All right. But you've got to put the work in, and you cannot treat this. And I'm going to say it again because I firmly believe it. You cannot treat this like a hobby if you want it to go forward. And I'm not saying that you need to neglect anything in your life, like your kids or your full-time job or anything. I work full-time. Okay. That comes first. All right. And that's an obligation. But I make it a point before I go to bed to check off at least 1 hour of working my business every day. Okay. Are you ready to do that? All right. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. Okay. Sorry for all the technical difficulties. Private message me if you have any questions, and remember to apply for the push group by tomorrow night. I hope to see you all in there, and I hope y'all have a great day.